Hi guys, I'm Jennifer from findingpeace.com. Thank you for watching my video. I'm really happy that you've returned to get a glimpse of our family and to get updates on us. First of all, I wanted to share with you that I'm really excited about this blog. This blog's only been live for about 2 months, actually only for about 6 weeks, and the support has been overwhelming. Thank you for those of you that have read the articles. We just had a series on autism and grief. And thank you for those who have been following me on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and here on YouTube. I have to admit, YouTube is really outside of my comfort zone. Technology is really outside of my comfort zone. So this has been a learning process for me. So throw me a huge learning curve on this. And I just hope that as I do more of these, it'll only get better and it'll only improve, and it'll be something that's helpful for you. Just wanted to update you guys on some things. This week, I have had some different ideas of some articles and some video vlogs that I've been wanting to do. And I am just, when you start a blog, you have so many different ideas, and I have this list of topics. And if I just do one a week, I probably have enough topics for like the next 4 years. But sometimes things just happen during the week, and I just want to get to a point where it's like, oh, let me just tell you about this week. This happened and this happened, and can you relate? And this has been one of those weeks. I'm kind of the Pollyann of the autism community. I'm very upbeat, very positive. All of the work that I've done in regards to my own kids have always been in a very positive light, and wanting to show what our kids are capable of and what my kids are capable of, and to let the public know, let the community know that our kids can do things if given certain accommodations, or given, honestly, just the opportunity. I find that sometimes the reason why our kids are not able to maybe participate or in a group or in certain activities is because they simply just have not had the opportunity. So a lot of the work that I've done, especially when my kids were younger, in media and in articles and in newspapers and so forth, has been to give our kids the opportunity. That has been the message that I have sent. And when people talk to me, it's, again, I'm very upbeat. I'm very positive. I recognized a long time ago, I mean, my oldest is 22, that this experience with the spectrum, this experience with raising children on the spectrum it's a marathon, not a race. And that I needed to pace myself. I needed to practice self-care. I needed to practice balance, not just for myself, but for my individual children. And these were lessons that I learned a long time ago, that I watch young moms who are bloggers of children, young children with autism, and these are things that I hear them expressing, and lessons that they're learning now. And it's all about finding that balance. And there are some weeks where the balance is great. I'm meeting everybody's needs. I'm meeting my own needs, and things are going really well. And I have to admit, this has been one of those weeks where I've struggled a little. It's summertime and kids are out of school, and finding that balance, not just with them, but with me emotionally, was a little bit more difficult. And I hear myself say that because anybody who knows me knows how difficult that is for me to express and to share. And to be able to share this with you is, again, me pushing my own comfort zone, my own anxieties, and doing something that I feel is, even though this is difficult, this is part of my growing and my healing and my sharing. But this particular week has been difficult. My oldest, Catherine, she has been one who has slept through the night since 6 weeks old. And when she was younger, she wouldn't, I mean, at 6 weeks, she would take a 30-minute nap in the morning, 30-minute nap in the afternoon, but she has slept through the night. And we have had a lot of trouble with sleep over the last probably year and a half, but especially lately. 4 o'clock seems to be her time, 4 a.m. And I am older now, where I don't sleep as well, and I need my sleep. I can't go on the 2 and 3 hour naps and sleep like I could have done when my kids were younger or when you have a newborn. And it has been really affecting me. People underestimate the effects of sleep deprivation on your mental health, and getting up at 4 o'clock and then trying to go back to sleep, or it has just been really difficult. So with Catherine, that's been one of the things that we have been dealing with, is getting her sleep patterns more established. And I'm honestly trying to figure out why they're not. Anytime I see a change in my children's behaviors, I am trying to figure out if there is a medical reason for those changes. And so with her, when she first started having the sleep issues was actually when she was about 18, and that is about the time she was diagnosed with her her particular type of seizures, which she was having primarily at night. So sometimes when she's waking up in the middle of the night, I have to look at, is the seizure activity? Is she napping too much during the day? Is she getting enough interaction? And these are things I'm always worried about with her, because she is not in high school anymore. She spends most of her time at home, and it is my responsibility to make sure she gets out in the community. That's not a support I have in place right now. And making sure that she's able to do that, to get out in the community, to get around people, to participate in social things is falls on my shoulders. And I enjoy it. I enjoy taking her out. I don't get embarrassed by her at all. I got over that a long time ago. She is as loud as she wants to be, and we have a good time. There are certain activities that she enjoys, but finding the time to do that for her, with work and the other kids' activities, is sometimes difficult. You know, when they were little, I kept thinking that as they got older and became more independent, that I would have more time and be less busy. And it seems like the older my kids have gotten, the busier I have become. I feel like I am running around more now than I ever did when they were younger, and had all the different therapy appointments and things like that, just trying to keep up with their lives and their needs. Struggled this week with Connor because, for two reasons. We had doctor's appointments or a doctor appointment for Connor, and he is being referred. He has scoliosis and some orthopedic issues because he has severe low tone, and he's been having some issues that I noticed with his foot. We've been doing some working out, trying to get his weight down, because of his very picky eating habits, and the amount of time that he spends on the computer. He doesn't always get the exercise he needs, and his eating habits are not the best, and especially with portion control and a variety of foods in his eating. So we had been working out, and I started to notice that he had an issue with his foot. So he's being referred, and we have gone down this road before, not just with him, but with my other kids, in which when they were younger, wearing ankle foot orthotics or some kind of foot ankle brace. And it looks like that is probably the route we're going to have to go with him. And he is a little discouraged by that. Now, we haven't even seen the specialist yet, but he's concerned about how that is going to appear. And I didn't realize till this week, well, I mean, I think I knew a little bit, but it's been coming out more how he worries about how people view him. And the way that this came out was because I had been talking to him about, hey, when are you going to do a vlog for me? When are you going to do a video? You know, you said you wanted to share your experiences as a person with autism with people. And he's like, no, I don't want to do a video. And finally he said, well, Mom, I'm worried about my voice. I said, well, what do you mean? And Connor, 4 kids, always mixing up their names. Connor, because of the low tone, has always had an articulation disorder. So he has W for R's, sometimes some final consonant deletions. His articulation is understandable, but sometimes if he's rushing or because of the way he words certain things, you really have to be paying attention to what he's saying, and you may have to ask him to repeat things. This is also another reason why he doesn't like to talk on the phone. He's gotten a little bit better because of his gaming and talking to different people through gaming and the internet. he's been able to improve his speech, but he is worried about how his speech is going to come across in a vlog. So I think I have him convinced, because I'm hoping that the community out there, especially from parents and other individuals with autism, would comment and support him, and maybe even give him some feedback as far as, hey, I can't understand you, and I do appreciate what you're sharing. It's always hard for a parent to hear when their child is struggling with their disability. I remember when one time Connor came up to me, and this was probably in middle school, in which he asked me if there was a surgery to remove his autism. So he's very aware. He's very aware that he's different, though through his life I've always told him different, not less. He's very bright and he's very intelligent and he has a lot of gifts, but because of his articulation and because of the way he looks, I think people misinterpret him. Oftentimes when they meet with him and they talk to him a little bit more slowly. And I think he tries not to get offended, but I think sometimes it frustrates him. And it frustrates me as a mom, because that's not how I talk to him, and I know how capable he is. And again, it goes back to kind of how I started this video. It's about giving our kids opportunities and having other people give them opportunities to show, hey, you don't have to talk to me in that manner. I'm very capable of having a conversation and talking about very philosophical, intellectual things. And he's just a little bit nervous about how he comes across. So I'm hoping that if I can get him to do a video within the next month, that y'all out there can show him some love and support. And because I think he has a lot of information he can share from a person with autism, to share his perspective, I think. And I know that anytime he shares insight with me, I'm always amazed and I learn so much from him. And that's really, one of many reasons why I started this blog, is to give him and my other kids the opportunity to share their different perspectives, because we have such a unique family and a unique life. This week of struggle, Carson. I know I've made some posts about Carson's seizure activity, which I have to be honest, this is going to sound very weird, but since he's been diagnosed with epilepsy, he was diagnosed at 13, 6 months after his father passed, and he's about to turn 18. I have never seen one of his seizures. And part of that is because his seizures are usually well maintained, and he's only had a handful of the grand mal or tonic-clonic seizures. The first one in which we, took him into the hospital, we actually found him after a seizure, and that was probably, I say it was the most severe just because he had bit his tongue and there was a lot of blood and drama, and we weren't sure what was going on, and had to call an ambulance and such. He has not done that in his other seizures, at least that have been observed, even though my mom observed the second one. Again, he's on medication now, and overall the medication had been successful at handling his seizures. However, over the last 2 years, and I know a large part of this is due to puberty as he's gained weight and grown, we've had more of what the doctor refers to as breakthrough seizures. And usually he has one, I call, they increase the meds, and we're good for another 6 months or so. Excuse me, a lot of those have happened at school. But the past couple have been happening within weeks of each other. And again, he went to the doctor, had some blood work done, and we're waiting for the results of that blood work to make decisions in regards to his medication. So, but he had one yesterday, and I was out of town, and he called, and just, again, as a mom, trying to manage that and ask the right questions and get the right information. And again, also it was in a public place. But again, he handled it well. We've changed our routine and our plan in handling those different situations. So that happened. And let's see. Oh, and then with my youngest, my Abby, who is the quote unquote typical sibling of the bunch, and it's National Dance Competition week for us. She's a wonderful dancer, very gifted, and I know I'm mom, so I'm biased with that. But this is a big deal for her, and she's been dancing for 12 years, and I've always wanted to support her and her passions and her interests. And her direction is changing a little bit, and we've had to make some really big decisions about that direction as she enters her junior year. And she's just grown into a very intelligent, smart woman, and I'm just so proud of her. But just a lot of with teenagers, decisions that you're making right now with teenagers, or the decisions that they're making, are about their future and about their lives. And, trying to teach them that, okay, if this decision doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. I think that our kids feel so much pressure to make, what am I going to be when I grow up? What college am I going to? They feel so much pressure with these decisions and what the outcome may be. And one thing that I've tried to tell my kids is, whatever decisions you make, if it ends up being a mistake, we can recover from all of them. None of it's the end of the world, and you can get through this, and you have a family here to support you. Whether that decision's about a job, about a relationship, about school, whatever it may be. And, we're just all trying to support one another and try to get through. And kind of brings you back to, why I started this blog in the first place, is wanting to share my experiences, wanting to connect with other parents, and say, I have not by no means been the perfect parent or made the best decisions. I've made a lot of mistakes. When I look back saying, gosh, I wish I would have fought for this harder. I wish I'd done this sooner. There is no roadmap for us. And sometimes we're just doing the best that we can. And that's okay. And sometimes it's through connecting with one another and talking with one another that we say, oh, I didn't think about that. Or, oh, this mother experienced the same thing I did. And I think validation of feelings is really important. And I hope that as an autism community, we grow in validating one another as mothers, even if all of our journeys look different, even if all of our decisions are different, even if some of our beliefs are different, that, we are stronger in numbers to make certain changes within our community and to make certain things happen. I mean, when I started this journey, when Catherine was first diagnosed, autism was 1 in 1,000. And think about where those numbers are now and how much that community, whether we've liked it or not, has grown. But through that growth in numbers can also mean a growth in impact. And I hope that this blog is just one of many ways that we are reaching out to one another and connecting with each other so that we can make changes in the system. Because I'll admit, not much has changed since Catherine was diagnosed at 3, and she's 22 now. And that really concerns me about the future, not only for my own kids, but for your children as well. So that's kind of where I'm at this week. It's been a little bit of a tough week. Took some time off yesterday, just kind of trying to spend some one-on-one time with the kids and meet everybody's needs. Everybody kind of got to do what they needed. Catherine got to go shopping, and back at work today and back at dance competition tomorrow. So taking it one day at a time, and sometimes that's just what we need to do. So thank you guys for joining me. I'll try to have my vlog out on time next Tuesday and have another article coming out this Sunday. I was actually writing an article, but my daughter says she's almost finished with hers. So hopefully we'll just have to see whose is done first and whose is better, and then we'll put that one out. But no, I got a lot coming for you guys, and I just want to, again, thank you for your support. And please subscribe, follow, like, share, and let's strengthen this autism community that we have. Thanks.